Welcome to our video tutorial for literal equations. We're going to look at two literal equations and solve them together. Here's our first equation. We want to solve for x. First step, get everything with an x on one side and get anything that doesn't have an x on the other side. Next, in this type of a scenario, we need a single x written on the board so we can factor it out. If we factor out the x, we're left with a plus pi, and we just rewrite the right-hand side of our equation. And last but not least, to get x by itself, we'll divide by a plus pi. Now, as we said in class, there would be a variety of ways this answer might appear. But here is one acceptable approach. X equals 7 minus 3y all over a plus pi. Another type of problem that we looked at in class is written on the board. The first thing we wanted to do was get rid of the fraction. We're solving for x. So we will multiply on both sides by x plus 3. Once we multiply on both sides by x plus 3, the left-hand side is x plus 3 times y. The right-hand side, the x plus 3's cancel. We just get 2x minus 7. We need to distribute that y next. So it's xy plus 3y equals 2x minus 7. Just like our previous example, we want to get anything with an x on one side and anything with a y on the other side. So here we will subtract 2 x's from both sides, and we will also subtract 3y from both sides. So we'll have xy minus 2x equals negative 7 minus 3y. At this point, we want a single x on the board. So just like our previous problem, we will factor out the x. This time it leaves us with y minus 2. And then we'll end up dividing both sides by y minus 2 to get the x by itself. So our final answer could be x equals negative 7 minus 3y all over y minus 2. However, you could have another answer and still be correct. What if we got the x's on the right-hand side and the numbers on the left-hand side? Well, then we would have had 7 plus 3y equals 2x minus xy. We could have then factored out the x on the left-hand side, on the right-hand side, leaving 2 minus y in parentheses, and we would have divided both sides then by the 2 minus y. That would provide us that x equals 7 plus 3y all over 2 minus y. Either of those forms is acceptable, and maybe you'll notice something. What we really did was we factored out a negative on the top, and we factored out a negative on the bottom, and those negatives cancel. For the purpose of our next test, either of those answers would be fine, and hopefully you see how both of them emerge. This was a quick overview of literal equations.